Now, for any of y'all that are Florida fans, this is going to be coming from someone who doesn't like Florida. I'm a born and raised Tennessee redneck who loves University of Tennessee. And I grew up with Steve Spurrier being the head coach of Florida. And while I respect the living daylights out of some Steve Spurrier, and for you young folks, the reason that the swamp is called the swamp is because of Steve Spurrier. I dislike that man. I really do. But we're not here to talk football when it comes to Florida. We're here to talk women's basketball. And Florida made probably one of the low key best choices for a head coach that I have heard in a while. No joke. Her name is Tammi Reiss, and I'm sure a lot of folks have heard about her, but I ain't seen a lot of news about this because of all that's been going on in the women's basketball world. But Tammi Reiss, low key, one of the best hires, period. Now, don't get me wrong, I like John Summerall, but I think that Tammi Reiss was a better hire. If you don't know who she was coaching the University of Rhode Island Rams. And because of her, they made it to the NCAA women's basketball tournament for only the second time in their history. This is a 50-year-old program. They have been around since 1975. They went to the NCAA tournament as a 10 seed in 1996. This current season, pardon me, it's still going on. They went in as an 11 seed. They've only ever won the conference tournament championship one year, this year. You heard that right. They've only ever had the regular season championship three times: 1996, 2026, and 2023. Guess who the coach was in 2023? You got that right and won, most likely. It was Tammi Reiss. She has been there since 2019. She turned them around. First year she was there, went 13-16, 11-8 the next season. But then she went 22-7, then 26-7. She made it to the the WNIT Super 16. 21-4 the next, 21-14 the next season. 17-16. Little bit off on that one. Then this past season, they went 28-5, 16-2 in the Atlantic 10 Conference. This is what Tammi Reiss has done for them. Oh, by the way, she also happens to be teammates with Don Staley from the University of Virginia. Let's just put it this way. They did really well at the University of Virginia. Then she got into the Utah Stars. Uh, Only was there for a season. Then she went into coaching. She was an assistant at Virginia. She was an assistant at Utah Stars, then San Antonio Stars. Then she became an assistant at San Diego State, an assistant head coach at Cal State Fullerton, then an assistant at Syracuse. Then she became the head coach at Rhode Island, and now she is a head coach at Florida. Her coaching record is 138-73. She's only been the head coach of one team, and she's 65.4% winning record. So let's talk about Tammi Reiss. You need to know about her, especially if you're in the SEC, if you're a fan in the SEC. So let's get into it. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics, do a little basketball, and other sports on occasion. but that's what I do. College. Also, A. General Robert Neyland, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades, had 7 maxims to win any game, but they can also help you if you apply them correctly to your life. The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it. Let's first talk about this really good Rhode Island Rams team. They had actually kind of elite numbers, bordering on elite numbers when it came to rebounding. They had 38.5 rebounds. They had 4 players that were over 5 rebounds a game. You had Brooklyn Gray, who was also the lead scorer. She was giving them 12.3 points, 5.2 rebounds. Palmyre Imbu was giving them 10.8 points and 5.8 rebounds. Albina Stala, who, by the way, is also from Team Finland. She's center. She was giving them 9.2 points and 7.1 rebounds nightly. And you also had Sophia Vital, another guard, giving them 7.7 points, 5.4 rebounds. They were doing really good when it came to rebound. Now scoring, okay, 67.7 points was their average. They had 3 players in double digits. You had 2 players that were in a little over 9 points a game. They were shooting 42.5%. Now, when you're considering the kind of talent that you can get at Rhode Island, that is not surprising. But they did have, Albina Solar was giving them 53.8% field goal percentage. That's really good. But Ford, Palmyre, Imbu, 45.5%. So they had players. You had another player, Mary Kate. I'm not gonna butcher her last name. I'm just not. Was giving them 66.7% field goal percentage. So this is what was going on. Now, 3.3 blocks. Considering the type of players that she was getting, 3.3 blocks is not bad at all. They only had 11.4 turnovers a game. No player had two or more turnovers in a game. Now you had one at 1.8, a couple at 1.7, but this was a disciplined team that could rebound. They didn't do the assist as well as they probably could have. Their field goal percentage at 42.5, their 3-point at 29.4, but there were power 4 teams that couldn't match those numbers. 6.8 steals. You're talking very low star players, if they even had stars. Tammi Reiss did all that at Rhode Island. Here's somebody that knows how to play, that is real good friends with Dawn Staley. These two had probably talked a little bit here and there about what it takes to get to where they need to be at. She's played at the pro level, coached at the pro level, so she knows what she needs to do to get players to that level. And then you've got the simple fact of that she's going to have the recruiting ability at the University of Florida that she would never have had at Rhode Island. Think about that for a minute. Here's somebody that was coached the same as Dawn Staley. So she's got that same background. Played pro, coached pro. As a head coach, she's 65.4% from the Atlantic 10 Conference, has beaten North Carolina State in basketball, has recruit knows how to recruit players internationally and nationally. You tell me how this doesn't scare you if you're if you're an opposing team. Now, okay, she's become the 12th head coach in program history. Um, Her comments were, I want people that want to be here for so many more reasons than just basketball. Education, the community, they love it. It's my job to build that relationship as quick as possible to see, do you trust me? Can you believe in the new vision? Can you? This is the culture, and it's a tough culture. Do you want to be part of that? Reese said. Now, there are players that are staying. So far, the scariest player to see leave is Sarah Dean. She's a guard, top 25 ranked JUCO player. She transferred to Florida, though, from Eastern Arizona. So you can see why she would be leaving. Plus, Florida last year was okay. I mean, that's the best way to describe it, was okay. You're talking about somebody that's got two Atlantic 10 regular season titles, Atlantic 10 tournament title, three-time Atlantic 10 Coach of the Year. She was a Kodak All-American in 1992. She understands both sides of the ball. She comes from the same kind of coaching as a college player that Don Staley did. Now, I already liked Tammi Reiss. I'll admit it. I already liked Tammi Reiss. Uh, Other than the fact that she's from New York State, but that has nothing to do with anything. I'm a redneck from Tennessee, south of the Mason Dixon. Them Yankees are kind of crazy, but what I have seen of Tammi Reiss, I love watching her coach. I love everything about the teams that she's part of. Uh, Now she credits Magic Johnson with her love of basketball. Hey, he was one of the people that drew me to the sport. She played, okay, she teamed with Don Staley, Heidi and Heather Burge. They were coached by Debbie Ryan. She was a three-time All-American. She was a four-time All-League honoree. They went to the Final Four three times while being named ACC Women's Champion. All tournament squad twice, scored 1,842 points, making 437 free throws, and scoring 139 three-point shots while making 41% of her shots from the three-point line. Think about all that. That's as a player. You don't think she's not going to bring that to Florida? This is someone that the SEC should be worried about. Now, not this coming year. She's going to have to do a lot for this team. She really is. Um, you're talking about Kelly Ray Finley ended the season 18-15. They only made the NCAA tournament once. They made WBIT twice under Kelly Ray Finley. Before that was Cameron Neubauer. He was 46-71 as the head coach there. Kelly Ray Finley at least was had a winning record, 93-75. Amanda Butler before that was somebody that always got them to a postseason. They made it to the NCAA second round one, two, three times, in the first round another year. Made it to WNIT. They only had two seasons that they didn't. She went 190 wins, 136 losses. This is a team that, yes, they're a good team, but they didn't always start out that way. They started out 74-75, but they had Carol Whitmire never made it to the postseason. Lee Henry was only there 1 year, didn't make it to the postseason. Now, under Carol Ross, they made it to the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. Made it to WNIT finals. They did a lot of good there. She won 247 games, lost 121. This is somebody that you should pay attention to now. Florida women's Gators. Let me tell you something. Tammi Reiss, y'all should be looking for this one. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Hey, folks, before you leave, if you're can't become a member via my YouTube channel, which that's for my thinker. I've also got sports. I've got a Patreon. If you really, really want to help me out, I would be much appreciated. But hey, hitting like, hit subscribe, hit commenting, all those things really help me out. Have a good day.